Leafs rumors are heating up, with them being linked to a bottom six forward who could make a major impact on their season. Plus, the Leafs need to extend this defenseman before the end of the season. And I'm going to break it all down for you guys coming up on this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But before we get into it, we got to say we're on the road for 5,000 subscribers before the end of the summer. So if you're not subscribed already, you want to keep up to date on everything that's happening around the Leafs, everything that's happening around the NHL, make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button. But with that said, let's jump right into the first topic of the video today, which is Leafs need to extend this D-man. And yes, of course, we're talking about Jake McCabe. Jake McCabe is a UFA after this season, going in this season with a $2 million cap hit. And the reason I say they need to re-sign or extend Jake McCabe is because he has been one of the most underrated defensive defensemen for the Toronto Maple Leafs during his time there. And him with on that line with Simon Benoit, they have been a shutdown line for this team, and they want that going forward. And if we just take a look at some reasons why here, from the editor in the Leaf, they say obviously McCabe would draw a lot of interest if he hit the free agency market. A lot of teams are going to be looking for a shutdown defenseman like McCabe, so the Leafs, are better off extending him now this season so no teams can get into a bidding war on him. They end up paying more than what they could have been if he was extended during this season. They also say, while McCabe won't light up the stat sheet, he is able to provide strong, consistent defense. Last season, McCabe formed an unexpected shutdown pairing with Simon Benoit. Like I mentioned, the duo emerged as a tough pairing for opposing teams. And when you have something that's working tremendously like this pairing, you don't want to give that up. You want to try to, make this defensive partnership work going forward. And now with the defensive-minded coach in Berube, this pairing is only going to get a lot better. And if we just get into the next screenshot here, they say the best part about McCabe is that he makes sound decisions. He doesn't turn over the puck. He doesn't fire the puck up the middle of the ice and gives it away. He's either dumping it when he can, he's finishing his checks, he's blocking shots, he's doing the things he knows how to do. He's not making careless mistakes out there on the ice. They also say here, there's the physical part of his game. Obviously, McCabe was acquired from the Blackhawks to fill that Muzzin role when he went down with injury, and they say McCabe's play is focused on taking the safe way out. He doesn't wheel and deal. He looks for the safest way to clear the puck out of the zone, and that's what's going to make you fly under the radar, and that's what's going to make you be a solid defenseman. When you're not giving the puck up as much, people, when you give the puck up, people are going to be like, oh my god, he's giving up the puck every night type of thing. But McCabe has been very sound in the defensive end, has made some great plays, some great zone entry plays out by dump and chase and stuff like that. That this is stuff for him that it comes natural, and that he's not looking to, feed a pass up the ice where he could, turn it over, but he does do it at times where he passes it up when there's an open lane, stuff like that. He's just a smart player in his defensive zone. And we also go on to say here, barring any serious injuries, McCabe should be a rock this upcoming season. He's the type of player Craig Berube likes, so expect McCabe to play a more prominent role. He and Benoit should emerge as Toronto's most valuable defense pairing. And this might be a little bit of a bold take for some of you guys watching this. Obviously, with the new addition of Tanev, a lot of people are going to be watching this, but I think this pairing with Benoit and McCabe is definitely going to be an underrated one, and other teams' offenses are not going to want to go up against this pairing because these guys are both great shutdown defensemen, both can finish their checks, both can block their shots, and I think this pairing is really going to be one of the dark horse pairings for the Toronto Maple Leafs this season. But if we get into what an extension might look like for Simon Benoit, they say something like a 4-year deal with an AAV of 3 to 3.5 million should keep McCabe around for a while. If everything goes right, the Leafs could have a strong blue line for the next few seasons. And I agree with this because if McCabe does hit the open market, you're definitely looking at teams coming at him here for, about 4 to 4.5 million. But if you offer him a longer term here, get him in at cheaper around 3.5, where he's friendly to the cap hit, this could really prove a great signing for Brad Treliving and the Toronto Maple Leafs. You're getting a great shutdown guy, a great guy who you can pair with Benoit for the next couple of seasons, and they're just going to be guys who go out there, they're going to be rocks on the blue line, they're going to shut down the other team's offenses as much as they can, and now with the new coach, like I said, it's really going to help out this defense, and we're going to see a lot better defense out of the Toronto Maple Leafs, even though it's a lot of the same players outside of, OEL and Chris Tanev. Berube is really going to shape these defensive hard-nosed guys into the players he wants on that blue line, and we're really going to see a drastic improvement here this season, I think, from the whole Toronto Maple Leafs D-core. But I definitely agree here. I think McCabe is a guy that you need to keep around. He's a solid guy. He loves playing in Toronto. So if you can get him in at 3 to 3.5 on a 4-year deal, that would be perfect for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And then you don't have to worry about maybe getting into a bidding war if he hits the open market, because a lot of teams are looking for defensemen, and when you got a good one, you got to try to keep them around. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think about McCabe extension? Would you like to see him extended? Let me know down below in the comments section. We're going to get into the second topic of the video today, which is new bottom 6 target for the Leafs. And yes, we've been talking about this for a while. It seems that Nick Robertson is going to be traded, and we're going to need to see someone fill that hole that he is going to leave for this team. And a guy that has been on the rumor mill for Toronto is Kailer Yamamoto. And I know when you hear that name, you're like, wow, maybe that's very interesting. Obviously, as of late, he hasn't been playing the best hockey. Well, we'll just come out and say it. But he is only 25 years old, and he's a very solid player that the Toronto Maple Leafs could throw on that third line left wing to really help boost that, kind of grittiness and goal scoring through this bottom 6. And if we just take a look here, obviously they say here, with Nick Robertson, if he doesn't leave for greener pastures, Kailer Yamamoto could be an intriguing addition for Craig Berube coach team. They did say if Nick Robertson does leave, so sorry about that, got that one screwed up. But if he does leave, Kailer Yamamoto is going to be a great option for Craig Berube because, like I said, he's a gritty, hard-nosed player that can also score goals for this team, and he's the perfect Craig Berube guy. He's a guy who he can mold into his system in this bottom 6, and, when he plays along that, star-studded power like we've seen in Edmonton, he does play very good, and his game gets excelled to another level. So if he gets put on this star-studded Leafs team, his play is only going to get better that way as well. They say he's not a superstar, but Yamamoto has shown to be a 20-goal scorer in the NHL, especially when paired with high-skilled line mates like Leon Draisaitl. Despite his smaller stature, his ability to play with edge might make him a potential asset in Berube's system, where physicality and defensemen are going to be key components. They also go on to say here that, he has had recent struggles in Seattle, where he managed just 8 goals and 8 assists in 59 games, should make him an affordable option on the market. This could favor a team like the Maple Leafs, who could use Yamamoto's motor and potential offensive upside to bolster their lineup. He could exceed expectations and become a valuable trade asset at the deadline, or you could just keep him around for this. And right now, Kailer Yamamoto is a UFA. He didn't get a qualifying offer from Seattle either, so you're looking to sign this guy. And after coming off, a lackluster season, you can get this guy in at a fairly cheap cap hit, around $1 million, maybe even under $1 million, because I believe his last contract was about 1.25. So if he's playing, he played under that contract value, you're going to get him in at under $1 million, which is going to be great, where the Leafs only have right now $1.2 million in cap space. So they have enough to sign this guy. This is a guy who could be an extra forward, and once he gets into the lineup, he could make a huge impact under Craig Berube. And if we just keep going here, they go on to say here, Yamamoto is a low-risk gamble. If he doesn't pay off, the organization will lose less than $1 million on its salary cap. But if he does, he could provide the team with an additional grit and scoring and be a trade asset for the Maple Leafs to look to make moves at the deadline. And like we talked about here a lot on the channel about Brad Treliving, what he's been doing is taking a lot of these low-risk gambles, and most of them have paid off. I mean, look at Bobby McMahon. I mean, we've seen that guy come up from the AHL. That's a low-risk gamble. It paid off for them as well. Alex Nylander as well that just happened, signing him to a Marlies deal that could really pay off in the future as well. So maybe we see a Kailer Yamamoto come in at maybe less than $1 million for one season, prove that he's, a great player here. At only 25, he's in the prime of his career. He just needs to be into that right system to really excel his game into another level. And like we're saying here, this guy is a former 20 goal scorer, so he has it in him to score the goals. And if you put him in the lineup under Craig Berube, his game's only going to get pushed better. And if you put him on that third line with Max Domi, who is a great playmaker, they could really make their magic work down there on the third line. And I really like this. Like, if Nick Robertson does get traded, it's always been up in the air. Like, week to week, it's like, he's not getting traded. He is getting traded. There's rumors flying around left, right, and center that it kind of seems like Nick Robertson will go, but who knows? If he does go, this is a very, very cheap option for the Toronto Maple Leafs to take a low risk here and get him in. If we just take a look at his stats here over the course of his career, like I said, he had that season back in 21-22 where he had 20 goals, and then last season he only put up 16 points, 8 and 8 in 59 games. But the season before, he had 10 goals, 15 assists for 25 points. So this is a guy who is really going to impact your bottom six here, put a few points on the board. You're not expecting this guy to go out there and get 40 points for you, but if it's a guy who can go out there and get 15 goals on that bottom six, it's definitely worth the less than $1 million investment. But the big thing to look here is he's also a great defensive forward. I mean, if we just look over here, at one point in his career, he did have 45 takeaways one season, which is a very good stat. Also 114 hits where, he shows that he can lay the body as well. So I think right now, if we're looking at someone to bring in that isn't going to cost you an arm and a leg, Kailer Yamamoto is that guy. He's looking to prove. He's got a chip on his shoulder now. So now getting him into this star-studded roster where we've seen him excel in the past with that Edmonton Oilers star-studded roster, this could really help the Toronto Maple Leafs and be a sneaky addition that we could all look back on later and say, or later this season and say, hey, what a good signing by Brad Treliving. It's a low-risk deal. If he doesn't work out, it's $1 million. It's a one-year deal. So be it. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. But if it does work out, then you're looking at the trade deadline saying, hey, maybe we need to add this and add this. You have a guy like Kailer Yamamoto who just came in, had a tremendous first half of the season, has added value onto his, added trade value onto him that you could ship him off, pair him with somebody to bring in what you need for this playoff push. But I really like this signing. I think this guy has a lot to prove, and when you have a lot to prove, you play way better, and I think this is a low-risk deal, like I've said multiple times in this video, that would really work out for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that down below in the comment section. What do you think about a Kailer Yamamoto trade to Toronto? Love to hear your guys' thoughts, or Kailer Yamamoto signing to Toronto. Sorry about that. Let me know down below in the comment section. We're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Cowboy Caps. He says, great video, KC. Thank you, appreciate it. He says, I do think Toronto had the best offseason in the Atlantic. Better defense and goalie in Stolars, and Devils and Capitals in the Metro had better offseasons overall. Definitely, I'm not gonna. I think that's definitely a reasonable take there. He says, but Toronto got what they needed in players and coaches. So I definitely agree. I think Toronto's offseason was very good. I really feel, like I said, you don't have the flashy names out there, but they brought in what they needed. They brought in a coach that is really going to help them, and I think we're going to see a way better Toronto team this year than we have seen in previous seasons. So I appreciate the comment, Cowboy Caps. Love seeing your support here on the channel. But if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure down below, hit that like button. Helps push these videos out to all the NHL fans on YouTube. Also, comment on the video. You might be featured on the next comment of the day, just like our buddy Cowboy Caps was today. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We're on the road for 5,000, so help us get one more sub closer to that goal. We'd really appreciate it. And if you want to check out a video I did yesterday talking about Bruce Boudreau, talking about Craig Berube as a coach, it'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, KC. We'll catch you in the next one.